All right, guys. So here we go. I am stoked to have Melanie with me today. I'm going to introduce her in just a second. For those that don't know, my name is Jeremy Collins. I'm the marketing coach at Lux VT, and we just have some fun at Lux VT, right? So one of these sessions, guys, is today. Is I brought Melanie and I asked Melanie. Melanie is actually with Fourth Street Creative. So if you just Google Fourth Street Creative, it'll come up. And it actually goes, I think your website's fourthstreetcreative.com, I believe. I did that right?
Yep.
You click on it and you click and go to shop. And what's really cool is I just went to her website recently and she like welcomed me with a video. That is the freakingest coolest thing ever. And maybe we'll learn from her and figure that kind of stuff out. But beyond anything else, Melanie, introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to dive right into the conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Branding is literally one of my favorite things to talk about, so I'm so excited for this. If you don't know me, which you probably don't, my name is Melanie Gray, and I'm the owner and creative director at Fourth Street Creative, and we are a design company that specializes in marketing and design for real estate agents, specifically how to help real estate agents create strong, authentic personal brands and DIY their own marketing. So that's what I'm all about. And today I cannot wait to get into branding and how you can develop a strong luxury brand that will get you in front of the people that you want to be in front of and attract the clients that you want to attract over and over again.
Love it. What a great intro. All right, guys. So this is going to be, here's how the workshops, here's how these things work. If you have any questions throughout the thing, if you have any questions you want us to answer, feel free to drop them in the chat. And I want you guys to be part of this, right? So if you've got
let me open up that chat. Sorry.
What is it?
I just said I'm going to open up the chat because I've never been here before. So I'm going to open up the chat, make sure I can see their questions, and then we can get to it. This is so much fun.
Love it. All right, guys, so here we go. We're going to dive in. Before we get started, though, I'm going to put a poll up for everybody that's watching and tuning in. And I want you to do me a favor, and I want you to rate yourself. I know this is kind of weird, but I want you to rate yourself from number 5 being you're a rock star, 4, I'm pretty good, 3, I could do a lot better, 2, I need a little help, and number 1, I got nothing, right? And so I want you to just do me a little rating there. And I just want to see kind of what it is, where you guys are at. And it's okay to be, it's okay to know you need improvement. That's how we improve. And so I love this. I'm going to go ahead and put some results up. You guys are awesome answering this stuff. Show results to everybody. Let me see if I can do this. Dun, dun, dun. Hopefully you guys can see the results. I can do a lot better is the main answer here at 44%. So that gives us some content to go off of. And so here we go, guys. All right, Melanie. So we live in this crazy world of video and crazy world of everybody's put their stuff out there in social media. And why in the world should real estate agents focus on branding or have a branding preference, or why should we even look at doing branding right now as agents? I mean, we're agents, right? We should be selling properties.
Well, I think that, first of all, branding is more than just your logo. It's more than just the aesthetics. So whether you know it or not, you currently do have a brand. You have a brand. Your brand, I love what Jeff Bezos says, which is your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So everybody here has a brand. You just might not be clear about what it is. And I would love for everyone to remember that a designer cannot give you a brand. They can just dress it up. They can just dress up what you've already got. So
man, that's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Well, let's dissect that just a second, okay? So you said that, you already have a brand, and that's the problem I think most agents might have is they don't realize that they are the brand.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Personal branding is if you are a real estate agent, you are a personal brand, meaning people will hire you because of who you are more so than what you do. So you need to develop that personal aspect of real estate versus the services and what you sell. And that is something that I find a lot of personal brands struggle with because our natural inclination is to sell. Like we have to put food on the table. We have to put money in our bank account. So our natural inclination is to go hard with the just solds, the just listeds, all of the selling of my services. Look how great I am. But when you're building a personal brand, it's more important to find connection points with your audience so that you can slowly connect with them, build that know, like, and trust factor. And then you sell, like 1 out of 5 times. That's the nice.
So how do we do this, Mel? How do we, as agents, how do we look at ourselves and say, okay, how do I like push in more on those things that make me who I am?
Oh,
So
yes. This is it's so hard for all personal brands to do this. This is not an easy task. I always say that personal branding is akin to like your personal journey. It's a journey of self reflection because you have to get very clear on who you are and what you're all about, your personal values, and you need to figure out a way to interweave that into your marketing strategy. So I like to refer to them as pillars, and you come up with content that you will be known for that's unique to you. Because if you don't have unique content, you get lumped in with every single other agent out there. So you need to find connection points with your audience, and I have a great exercise for you to do this. I want you to think of your last 5 clients that you 3 to 5. 5 is a lot. Let's say 3 to 5 people that you absolutely loved to work with, and try to find commonalities and the reasons why you liked working with them. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say the last 3 clients that you worked with, they loved puppies or dogs. You know, they were just obsessed with their dogs and you were obsessed with your dog. That's a connection point, and that should be part of your marketing. If the reason why you connected with your last 3 clients was because you were all dog lovers, then that is a key to introduce that, to weave that into your personal marketing, because you're going to
let me stop
attract
there,
more
Melanie. Just a
people.
second.
Yeah.
Mel, that was awesome. And so I've got an agent. I'm giving you, I love examples.
Mhm.
And so you laid it out. I've got an agent that I've been coaching for a while that she loves animals, loves them, like they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think she's a cat lady. And so what she did was she took her brand to the next level. She actually partnered with a local animal shelter. And so now she promotes this. Every
Mhm.
time she gets a deal closed, she walks down to the animal shelter, videos herself with a check, hands it over to the animal shelter, and it says, I'm going to donate this to whoever. And she does this for the animals that are least likely to be adopted.
Yeah.
And so she pays the adoption fee for that animal. And she goes live video, shows the animal on video, and man, it just fits right into her brand and what she's
Yes.
trying to do.
And you know what happens when she does that is that everybody who cares as much as she does about animals, instantly that puts her at the top of the list. Who am I going to use to sell my home? Somebody who I can connect with, who I respect, who I value, who I have shared values with. Because you always want to work with people and buy from people who you have shared values with. It's so important to remember that.
So we have to actually get a little personal here, right,
Yes.
Melanie?
And it's hard to do. I am not saying that this is an easy task, because
No,
I have
it's
worked
hard.
with so many people and they're like, I don't want to share personal information. So there's this balance that you have to get comfortable with. You have to decide what it is that you are comfortable sharing, because remember, you're going to be continuously sharing. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing about your kids, don't do it. Don't even try it, because it's not going to work. You're going to feel awful, and it's just not going to work. So you need to find a way to get comfortable with the information that you're sharing. And one of my best tips for that is to think about what you talk about over coffee with your close friends. So let's say you're going out for coffee with your friend and you're gabbing about, oh my gosh, I just read this amazing article about home decor, and these were the things that they said, and I can't wait to redo my kitchen. It's going to be like this. And that's a clue that might be something that you want to bring into your personal branding, because you're so passionate about it and you're comfortable talking about it. What you might be comfortable talking about your kids. Part of my personal brand is my dog Chewy. I mean, if you open my phone right now, most of the pictures on my phone are of him. So it would be silly for me not to bring him into my brand. He's everywhere. He's all over my website. He's all over my social media. He's everywhere because I love him, I value him, and people can connect with me on that level. I get more DMs on Instagram for Chewy than anything else that I share. So remember that it's a great way to connect with people.
But let's take that a little farther. So you may share about Chewy, right? And you get DMs, you get direct messages for Chewy. But here's the deal: it's conversation.
Yes, that's right. The key. Yes. So a lot of people think, well, I don't want to talk about my personal life. I want to talk about real estate. You'll get there, and they will listen more attentively if you've already connected with them. So connection is the first key. And then when you share posts about real estate, they're more inclined to look at your posts rather than see it as spam and just scroll on by, or any of your marketing that you're putting out there. They're more inclined to pay attention when they've already connected with you. So connection points are so important.
Just talking about that for a minute, the social media side of things, the algorithm side of things, I'm a big tech guy, and that's what I dive into this stuff.
Mhm.
I look at spreadsheets after spreadsheets of stuff. And so when you share about, let's say, for example, you're a gardener, right?
Yes.
And not talking about real estate, let's say you're a gardener. You have a beautiful garden in your backyard. When you take pictures of your flowers you're proud of, and you post those on social media, and you get 50 to 100, comments about your amazing, beautiful rose, that kickstarts the algorithm for you, right?
Mhm.
So when you post 2 rose pictures, you got 100 posts, 100 comments each on it. Guess what happens when you post a real estate topic, video or real estate topic idea? Guess what? They see that because they like the rose picture. You
Yes.
get where this is going.
Yeah.
Your personal brand can expose your real estate ideas and you're in real estate for other people because of your personal brand.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you do it right and you use these connection points like your animals or your kids or your personal life or your hobbies are a great one.
Oh gosh.
And I don't care if you have weird things that you think no one will connect with, that is gold. You are sitting on a gold mine. If you like to play the banjo in your backyard with a
Game
straw hat
changer.
on, you just cornered a market. And it's not just the banjo playing market. It's people who respect the fact that you have this odd hobby. So I like to refer to it as like this is the nucleus, and you're going to hit the banjo players obviously because they're going to be super intrigued, but then there's like this ring here, and you're going to reach these people too who might not play the banjo but they're musical. And then there's another ring on the outside, and these people don't play any musical instruments like myself, but I'm looking at you thinking, that is so cool. I love how interesting and unique that is. Follow, so those
I
are,
love it.
It's so, you might think that you're not interesting. You might think that it's not worth sharing. I promise you it is, and you have an audience for it. That is what is so great about today, about living
Let's
today.
share about, let's take a minute. That the last 15 minutes of this conversation, or the past 12 minutes here, has been golden nuggets. And the golden nugget I got out of this thing was, it's okay to be who you are, right?
Love it.
To me, we are special in our own ways.
Mhm.
And people are looking for you to post about that, you to share about that, right? Me, I make up words. Like,
Yeah.
if you know me, I'm an Eastern Kentucky boy that I literally just make up words.
I love it.
And people love it.
I
Like,
love that.
they comment on it all the time.
Oh, I
And
love
I'm
it.
like, that is a part of you.
Yeah.
So we as real estate agents have to, dissect who we are first, and then be okay by sharing that.
Yes. I call them isms. So Melanie
Love it.
isms, Jeremy isms. What are your isms that you can share about? So one of Jeremy isms, a Jeremy ism is that he makes up words. It's up to you now, Jeremy, if you want to bring that into your branding or not, but that is
Yep.
part of who you are. And a great way to find out, you might be asking yourself right now, I have nothing. I don't know anything that I can share. I'm lost. I don't know what that could be. Ask your closest family and friends
Love it.
how they see you. I can tell you, when I asked that question, I was blown away by the responses that I got, and it lent so much insight into who I was. Sometimes we're so close to things that we don't really know who we are, so we have to ask people who are closest to us to help us out there.
Let's make that an action item, okay? I'm all big about action items, guys.
Yes.
So let's go ahead, guys. For those who are on the call and those who are going to be watching this recording, let's take an action item down here, okay? I want you to email your friends, email your family, and I want you to say, hey, I'm working on a new branding strategy for my business, and I would love for you to tell me 4 to 5 to 6 things about me that you love.
Yeah.
Right?
Or make it simple and say 3. I think
yeah, maybe it's too many.
Let's say you got an email saying, say 5 things that you love about me. It would be kind of, it's like you're like,
hard.
But if you ask for like 1 to 3, everyone can come up with that, right? I think 3 is good. But 5, they might give you 5.
They might.
Yeah.
And you may be shocked by it. But guys, that's an action item that you can take really right now and implement on, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Let's talk about branding, man. That was huge. Personalities coming out. Let's shift gears slightly in this mid-conversation and talk about video for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, if you've been to a real estate workshop in the past 8 years, they've said is the year of video.
Yeah.
Right? And it's that's not going to change anytime soon.
Videos
All the big platforms, and actually, let's do a poll live. What we're talking about here is, what is your favorite social media platform? And I've got 4 on here. I've got Facebook, I've got Instagram, I've got TikTok, I got LinkedIn. Where are you spending the most time? And this could be a question about, guys, what are you doing, even not only for your real estate, but your personal, right? Yeah. Where are you spending the most time? Because that's where you're the most fun at, honestly.
It is, and it's really interesting. This is such an interesting hot topic because you can love a certain platform, but none of your clients are there. What do you do? What do you do if the platform that you love is a platform where your clients aren't hanging out? What happened? Did you go away? Did we
I don't know what happened.
did you
I'm
get
back. I don't know what
okay,
happened.
okay.
Am I back? All right, sorry. I didn't
No
want to leave
worries.
you. I don't know what happened there.
I was like, "Oh gosh."
But it's great, guys. So you mentioned, Mel, you were so scrolling.
Oh,
If you're
I think you're
people
breaking up a
on
little bit.
there,
Hold on. Technical problems? I hope it's not me.
right now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can everybody, if you can hear Jeremy, can you write it in the chat?
In the chat and let me know if you're still alive or not.
He's breaking up with me too. Okay, it's not you, Melanie. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Give me 1 second.
Let's give you
guys.
some
I'm gonna
time to
switch
do
to my
that.
speed, my internet signal.
Yeah, he keeps freezing. Okay, great. It's not me. I always panic when it comes to technology. My first instinct is to say, oh gosh, what's going on here? Oh, now can you guys see me or did he just kick me out too? Oh, Jeremy's coming back in.
All right.
Okay, great.
Is that
Okay.
better?
Whew, yes. Okay. Yeah, you're good. You're good
Sorry,
to go.
I don't know what the heck happens to internet stuff. You know how technical stuff is. It's one of those deals.
Every time without fail. Every time. Every
Especially
time.
when you're live. That's the biggest
Yes.
problem.
That's
All
when
right.
things always go wrong.
So we were talking about Facebook, we're talking about Instagram, we're talking about the platforms you're on. You know, tell me a little bit about, you know, how do we choose what platforms to really showcase ourselves on?
So for personal use, do whatever you want. For
Yeah.
professional, to meet your clients where they're at and to get in front of the people that you want to get in front of, I always say go to where they're going, go to where they are, where they're spending their time. So me personally, I love Instagram. I'm on Instagram all the time. I get way more engagement on Facebook. And Facebook is not my number one platform. And yet realtors reach out way more on Facebook to me. They engage with me far more on Facebook than on Instagram. So I always tell people there's not one universal platform that's better than the other. It's where your clients are hanging out. That's why doing really good deep dives and personal profiles into your clients is such a great exercise, because doing a little cyber stalking and finding out where they hang out is a great way for you to get in front of them. And I
I love
say,
it.
do this with people, do this with your favorite clients, do this with the clients that you want in the future, because the last thing you want is to hang out where the clients that gave you a hard time are hanging out. Like, make sure it's clients that you would want to work with over and over and over again.
I love it. So I love the platform. May continue that conversation in just a second, but I want to make sure these questions are answered. So the first one was, you know, can you provide some creative ideas for advertising my luxury listing? So before we get to talking about the luxury listings for a minute, let's talk about the luxury brand for a minute, because I think it can be confusing to some people. And I think Mel and I had a conversation offline about this the other day about, you know, what is luxury branding? What is that, right? And I think you had some great tips, Melanie, about, you know, simplifying and tell me a little bit about that.
So I personally think that the word luxury is very loaded. It's a very hard word. I would prefer to say authentic branding. So the more authentic you are, the better. Visually speaking, if you want to have a very clear, crisp, high-end brand, it's about simplicity. So what happens a lot in real estate marketing is it's very busy. It can look very busy. So when we simplify, when we take things away from the visual look of things, it becomes far more high end. If you want to know what I'm talking about, open your favorite magazine and look at the advertisements for any product in that magazine. You will see one huge page full image with very little text or very little anything else. Like, it's just the imagery is what sells. And if you're talking about luxury branding, imagery is so important. That is where you want to focus most of your time. with
Yeah,
any
someone
branding, but especially
says on
luxury.
here, lots of white blank space, and it is true. It's really true. You're trying to draw attention. So a lot of times, guys, and just talking about a little bit the luxury listing there that I think Kendra was asking about is, you have to highlight and you have to
Yeah.
showcase, right? And make something the centerpiece.
Mhm.
And so instead of throwing together a piece with like 4 or 5, 6 things and making it all over the place, make the draw to it and then send them somewhere else, right? That's the goal to it. You're sending them to connect with you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
I love it.
It's one of those things that's hard to understand. Um, when you first start doing this and you're thinking to yourself, I need to add in all this information. I need to put all of this on or else they're gonna miss it. They're gonna miss it if you add too much. Because
And I,
if it's too busy, people just don't, it becomes noise
and
and they
I
don't
think
look
it's
at it.
probably in marketing and branding, to me, less is more because if I'm trying to draw interest, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to give everybody everything.
Yeah.
Because if you give everybody everything, why do they need you for? I mean, honestly. So
Yeah.
you want to be there to guide them through these processes. And so when you share a luxury listing on social media, I hope you just share a nice framed one classic image of the property,
Mhm.
and then they come to you for everything else,
Yeah.
or they go to your website for everything else.
Yeah. I agree. I think that you need to be really careful with what you're adding, especially on social media, because remember, it's on. People are looking at this on a phone, tiny little squares. The more information you put on that, the more busy it is, the more likely they are to scroll on by. So it's just important to keep things really simplified. And remember that luxury branding is about evoking emotion.
I
So if
love
you
it.
want to evoke emotion, how are you going to do that? It's not going to be with a whole bunch of text. It's going to be with one image, one message. Clarity,
So good.
simplicity, that is how you get through.
I
So,
love it. And that's also how you stand out
mhm,
amongst everybody else,
yeah.
right? I mean, you are who you are. And I think a tip talking about, just photos and stuff like that, a great tip. And if you haven't done I'm trying to remember lifestyle session. I think we talked about that a little bit, Melanie, offline. But if you haven't done like a lifestyle session photography for yourself,
Mhm,
you should do that. So, just for example, the next time you get a luxury listing or a high end listing or a listing that you're proud of, ask your photographer. It's just a tip across the board, guys. You should give your photographer another $50 and have them stay a little bit longer and have them take photos of you in the property, right? It's a
let's
game
say you
changer.
don't even want to do that. You can have somebody come with you with your iPhone these days, and you
Absolutely.
can have, sometimes I've had professionals. I just had my first professional photo shoot done because I'm terrified of professional photo shoots. And I've had my partner do my photos for the past 10 years. And now with the way that iPhones are churning out this amazing photography technology,
Unbelievable.
I mean, I personally liked the photos that he took with the
Yeah.
iPhone better than my professional session. So if you have
Yeah.
somebody that you trust that you can bring with you, then, let your photographer go and have them just snap photos of you all around the house. I think that that's a
And
really
so
great.
why are we doing that though, Melanie? Because me and Mel had a great brainstorming session before this, and we came up with some ideas, guys, that we think that would be crucial to what you could do for real estate branding in general. But in those elements like that, that second person could take photos of you in the property, and you have them to bank.
Yeah.
Right? We are creating a bank.
Mhm.
When I teach my clients, guys, I tell them, hey, when I do a meeting with you, I want to open your phone up and I want to see how many photos you took this week. And
Mhm.
and and why are we doing that? It could be when you're at dinner, when it could be when you're out and about, maybe walking through a park. You should be creating a bank of content, right, Melanie?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I think that you can create content regardless of where you are or what time of day it is. And this is an exercise that I give myself because I'm horrible at taking this advice. So what I've done is I've set an exercise for myself. Every day I have to share on Instagram something that I'm doing. And it was
Good.
hard in the beginning. So I was like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to see this. So what I do is I just look around at my current surroundings and say, what is going on? What am I doing right now that I could share with my audience? And that is just snap a picture. Like, what am I doing? I could do that right now. I could literally just do
Yep.
that right now and say, hey guys, I'm doing this live with Jeremy. So much fun. You know,
Well, let's
there.
do it together.
I just did it. I just did it. I'm going to share that later. You guys can all go follow
And
me.
so, guys, those are just small things when you're in. And I'll be honest with you, some of the most exciting things that people are looking for you guys are behind the scenes stuff. Stuff
Mm.
that you're doing every single day. For example, you're up late at night, 12, maybe it's midnight, and you're writing a contract. That is a time to do a little single snap, right?
Yeah. You could even that is such a perfect opportunity for you to take a picture of you drinking coffee and just telling people it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm getting my energy boost so I can finish this offer. Like
I
how
love it.
people are like, oh, that's so crazy. He's up at 11 writing an offer. They want to know that. You might think it's boring. You might think it's run of the mill. Anyone who's not a realtor does not think that's boring. We all
True.
want more. I want to see that stuff. And I work with realtors all the time. And I want to see, like, what is your day like behind the scenes? The most interesting stuff to me is before and after. So when
Absolutely.
you're showing me stories of what a room looks like before and then after, or even what you look like before and after, doesn't matter. Before and afters are huge. You can do that. That's such a great way to connect.
Love it. So, all right, guys, let's take a little turn shift here. And this is a topic that I really didn't even, I don't think we even put in my notes before, but it's called stories. Okay. So stories to me is where real estate agents can really stand out.
Mhm.
Right. So stories are impactful. Like, have you ever sat down with your grandfather and he's telling you stories of the past and you just are so intrigued?
Mhm.
Like, it's one of those things you're like, holy cow, I can't believe the world was like that back then. You
Yeah.
know, so how, as real estate agents, can we improve on our storytelling with our branding, right?
Mhm.
I feel like we need to tell more stories, Melanie, as agents.
Yeah, I think that that's what personal branding is all about. It's about storytelling. So when it's not enough, what we were talking about before was creating pillars for your brand, that connection points that you can connect with your audience. So let's say that I am just sharing a picture of Chewy, my dog, on my feed. It's not enough to just share that picture, even in stories, and say, look at how cute he is. You have to tell stories. And a great way to tell stories in stories, Facebook stories, or sorry, Instagram stories, is to tell them with the slides themselves. So to have a
So
cover
good.
page, with your fonts and your colors on there. A great place to get stock photography is pexels.com and
Love it.
unsplash.com. You can go there, get stock photography, have a cover photo and say, let's say it's about your dog. You can have a cover photo saying, how many times a day does your dog eat? And then put a poll. Polls are fantastic
Oh, let's
because,
stop here for a minute because these are some tips, guys, that agents, if you guys start using this stuff, you'll be blown away about
yeah.
the engagement of them.
Mm.
Like stories and reels, for example, they've added stickers to reels too.
Yes,
So
that's
now you
right.
can do polls, you can do questions, you can do all kinds of fun stuff in there, guys. And
Yeah.
every time I do a poll or do a question, I get tons of DMs. I get tons
Yeah.
of engagement.
Me too. And the trick with stories is to, like what I was saying, have 5 story frames and tell the story throughout. So the first slide might be
Love it.
a slide asking a question. The second one might be introducing the topic. The third one might be a little video to showcase what it is you're talking about. The fourth one might be tips or solutions. And the fifth one is a call to action. Like, what do you want them to
Love
do
it.
with this information? And that is a great way to run your stories because it gets them following through, clicking through, taking action and engaging with you. And if
I
your
love it.
call to action is, hey, if you want to know more, DM me. Hey, if you want to know more, go to this link. Now you can link things in stories. Fantastic. So these are all great ways.
Love it.
The key to stories and the key to building that strong personal brand is connection, 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 connection. I cannot say it enough. If you're
So
not
good.
connecting, you don't have a brand. So you need
You
to
know, and
learn
so
to connect.
And so another big tip for agents in general, guys, is it's hard to come up with content. It just is. I love creating content, but it's
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
sometimes. And I get brain dead. I'm like, I don't do. But one thing you can do is I believe that comments start conversations.
Hmm.
And so why don't we, if you don't know what to post that day, go find your friends on social media and actually comment on their stuff.
Yeah.
Don't just like it. How many times do we scroll and like, scroll and like, scroll and like? Don't. That's not enough.
Hmm.
Do at least a 3-word comment on it. And then if you want to go the next step, which is, in my opinion, the best idea ever, is to send them a DM.
Yeah.
So, for example, Melanie, her dog, she took a picture of her dog recently, and he's so dang freaking cute. Me, I could comment on it, or I could like it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Melanie a DM, and I'm going to say, "Holy crap, your pup is so freaking cute." And then a conversation to get started.
Yes.
And it's just that's how we do this thing,
Yeah.
guys. That's how we build the brand using the platforms we currently have.
Yeah.
All right, Mel, you mentioned earlier a couple questions. What was those two sites you go to for your
Let me
stock?
write them into the chat.
Cool, yeah, that'd be
Pexels.com
awesome.
and unsplash.com. These places are fantastic. And I have a lot of resources on my website as well. If you want to go there and just type in the search in the blog, photography or image curation, I have so many tips on how to curate a really strong brand visual using these sites. These are the two sites that I use all the time for everything.
I use them all the time. I've used them for the past 10 years, so they're awesome.
They are amazing.
Cheryl, this is recorded. I'm actually going to post it inside the LuxVT Facebook group after this is over. So this afternoon will be posted there. So feel free to go there and watch it at any point in time. And so, okay, let's kind of wrap this thing up. I don't want to take too long, so I want to wrap this thing up into a package that says, the last thing I want to kind of talk about is we mentioned video slightly.
Yeah.
But how important is video in today's market, right?
I am sad to say it's the most important thing because I don't like doing video either. And when it came on, I was like, I hope this is just a trend. I hope this is going to die. And it just kept growing bigger.
I'll tell you what.
Now with TikTok and Reels, it's just, we got to get over, like, I am by no means, I forced myself to get comfortable on camera, and we all have to do that, unfortunately. And I'm saying unfortunately, trust me, I get it. I know the pain, but you just have to fight through it and figure out a way to do it however you feel comfortable doing it, because video is here to stay. Video is here to stay.
You're right. And so I remember when TikTok first came out, and it was teenagers doing dance videos.
Yeah.
And I thought, there is not a chance in heck I'm going to do this kind of stuff. And the good thing is, guys, we don't have to.
No.
We don't have to do dance videos and stuff like that. Some of my highest rated, I think I've got some that's got 5,000 to 8,000 views on Instagram. The quick ones was me talking to the camera. That's all it was. Me giving 30 seconds of advice, or me giving 30 seconds of information.
Yeah.
Those are freaking amazing how it works. I love the poll I just put up. I'm going to put the answers up for everybody. But the highest one is I hate being on video at 40%. And I get that, guys. I totally get that.
I'm here. I'm with you. I'm with you 100% of the time. I mean, it took me so long to get even remotely comfortable. Oh, and one of the tricks that I did is I forced myself to do stories for 1 minute a day. So Instagram stories was one of the ways that I got over my fear. And I can tell you, this was me the whole time. Hi, guys. I just wanted to talk about... And then I would like screw up. And it used to take me an hour to get a minute worth of content. But now I can go on stories, no makeup, messy bun, because I have something important to say. That's just, and it happened over time. So I would give yourself some grace, allow yourself some time to get comfortable with it. And if you don't feel comfortable, know that you're not alone. Most people don't.
Absolutely.
And you just need to take one step at a time to get there. And you will. I promise you, you will. And you just need to kind of push yourself in that direction, and then you're good to go.
I love it. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap it up. What a great conversation this has been. I've really enjoyed it. So we talked about personal branding being, we have to be authentic. That's a key word. We have to be who we are, and don't try to change who we are to fit the brand, right? You are who you are. You are the brand. Let's make the brand fit to you.
Yes.
Right?
Can I say one thing about that? Luxury doesn't have to mean you look like you belong on Selling Sunset. It doesn't have to mean that. Luxury means being true to who you are, leading with confidence, and that will attract your people to you. It just will. You do not have to look the part. And when I say the part, I mean, we know what the part is.
We know. We
get on Selling Sunset. You don't have to look like that. You just have to be true to who you are, and I promise you're going to connect with a ton of people. So good, guys. So be authentic, be who you are. Go simple with design, right? Go simple with it. You're going to attract more people that way. And I think it's going to be huge. Another big question here is, do you have different accounts for personal and business? Man, that's a big decision to make. And I don't. And I don't either. And I'm going to tell you why. Who has the time? Who has the time? You need to, and here's the thing. If you're asking, should you have a personal and business account, then you didn't hear what we were talking about. Because you have to incorporate the personal into the business, and that becomes your brand. So there's absolutely no reason to have a personal and a business. Incorporate that personality into your business account and make it part of your business. If you do that, it's so much easier, because you don't have to be like, oh, what am I going to post today? I have nothing to say about real estate. It doesn't have to be about real estate. It can be about your morning coffee. It can be about your kids driving you nuts. It can be about anything that's going on in your life. Take the stress off the business. Yes. Seriously. Yeah. Less stress is the better, and so we want to make this easy.
if you build something that's complicated, I do this a lot with clients. They're like, well, I've got to have this and this and this and this. I'm like, no, slow down. We are going to take this baby step and we're going to make it as easy as possible, because 5 years down the road, I don't want complicated. I want easy. And I think that's awesome. Way to go, Jenny. That's awesome. Fantastic question. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let me highlight, and so I hope this has been a great conversation for you. I've enjoyed it. This is going to be replayed a lot throughout the time. And before I hop off here, I want to highlight Melanie and what she's freaking got going on here. She is a rock star at what she does. So let me find, if I can find the page I was at. I'm going to try to share my screen with you guys, if my awesome new platform will let me do that. let me try this. All right, here we go. Share screen. Bear with me, guys. I created an awesome slide, guys. So I got to show it to you. Hold on. Let's see. Share screen. There it goes. Oh, is it working? Nope, almost. Share.
Screen share.
Boom. Hope you guys can see that. And so, I want you to go to 4thstreetcreative.com. You'll actually see a cool little intro video of Melanie in the bottom right-hand corner if you're on your desktop computer, and she'll say hello to everybody. But Melanie, tell me about the 2 things you got going on right now: the Ditch the Designer course and the free Canva class.
I think if you're looking for learning Canva, so if you're looking to create that luxury brand and you want to have some tips and tricks on how to use Canva for real estate, the free Canva class is where you want to go. It's 5 days, 5 bite-sized pieces of information. And it's going to take you from not knowing how to use Canva at all for real estate to being completely confident. Everybody who's gone through this has emailed me and said, oh my gosh, I finally understand how to use Canva for real estate. It's completely free. So if you just go to 5daycanva.com, you can sign up, and all of the courses are just delivered to your inbox. They're 20 minutes or less, and it'll get you to where you need to go if you're into that. If you want more of what we talked about today, which is like building your brand and showing up on Instagram authentically, then that's Ditch the Designer. It's my course, and you can find all the information at ditchthedesignercourse.com.
Love it. All right, guys. So we've shared a lot today. Obviously, we're here for questions, that kind of stuff. If there's anything you guys are struggling with, we'll take the next part 2 or 3 minutes and just kind of open it to questions here. And if not, we'll just go and sign off and say sayonara. Is that even the right word? Sayonara? Did I just say that wrong?
Sayonara?
I don't know. It just didn't seem right. Maybe I don't know. All right. So, guys, branding's tough. I get it. It's one of those things that you have to sit down and really think through. But go back to what Melanie said beginning with, guys. Send that email to your friends. Get them to help you with this. They are the best truth tellers of it all. And I think that those would be things that will help propel you to the next level. Again, obviously, I think you guys seems like your questions are wrapped up. You guys are great. We are going to host more of these live sessions. Bring Melanie on again for some point in time. Feel free to email me at jeremy@luxvt.com for any other questions, guys. I saw somebody may have had a question. I saw a phone number, that kind of stuff. But feel free to reach out to me at any point in time. Join in our live discussions. We're here to have some fun, but we're also here to train and educate and help boost your businesses to the next level, right? And that's why these conversations are happening.
Yeah.
All right, Melanie, thank you so much.
I had so much fun.
We're going to have to do more of this stuff. How do you find the time? I know Peggy says, how do you find the time, Peggy? You got anything on Melanie? How do you find the time?
How do you find the time for what? Like, what is it exactly?
To do stuff, to do branding, to do marketing, how do you do it?
Finding your personal brand is about finding 3 to 5 things that you want to connect your audience about. And that's going to happen just with you paying attention. So just ask yourself for the next couple of weeks, start paying attention to what you genuinely gravitate towards. It might be as simple as I binge Netflix, and then that becomes part of your branding. Just pay attention. Yeah. That's how you do that. That's just going to happen naturally. As for Instagram and putting together marketing material and all that stuff, we all have time. We just make time for what we find important. Good. So it's about making the time and finding the time when you're not going to be interrupted. I think I was telling Jeremy offline, I was saying, how many realtors are busy at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. on a Monday? Are your buyers, they're at work? Are they calling you and saying, hey, can I see a house? There's always times when you can kind of predict that you're going to have a little bit more time. And that's when you do it.
Yeah, it's good, really good. I think, when you're up in the morning and you've got your cup of coffee, that's the time I really kind of think through a little bit, and spend time really kind of figure out what am I going to do for the day. And honestly, it happens in the moment for me more than often. I can think about it all day long, but I'm finding myself being more in the moment kind of things.
Yeah.
So, think, oh, that would be a great part. Oh, that'd be a great thing. Oh, that'd be a great piece.
Yeah.
And that's really where I think that we as agents can to start just working a little bit better at,
Mhm.
right? Find those moments and then get them out there.
What else is great is as agents who are really, really busy is taking one piece of content and creating 15.
Oh, that's good.
So this live that we just did right now, it was what, 40 minutes? And I
Yep.
can break this up into
Tons and tons of content.
hundreds of pieces of content. I can put it on YouTube. I can put it on Instagram stories. I can break it up and share different sections of it, segments of it.
I tell you what, if you don't have time for that, guess what? You can go to Fiverr. It's my key go-to. I think it's Fivrr or something like that,
F5,
and
yeah.
you can something like that, and you can actually send them this video. Send them a video with whatever you did. Let's say you sit down and record a 20-minute video. You
Yeah.
can send it to them for like $20. They'll
Oh
break
yeah.
it into. I mean,
Fiverr.
it's cheap.
If you guys haven't discovered Fiverr yet, please discover it. It's going to change your life. It's so good for things that you just don't have the time
Quick
to
and
do.
easy.
I'm seeing a lot of people confused about the URLs in here. So
Sure.
if you want anything from me, just go to fourthstreetcreative.com. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. If you're not finding what you need to find, everything is on fourthstreetcreative.com. Did I spell that right? Yes.
I think so.
So you can just go there and find anything that you need. Now Fiverr, you're going to have to Google that because I can't remember
I
if
think I
it's
just did
two
it. I
R's
think
or
I got it
not.
right.
Yeah, there it is, two R's. Yeah,
Fiverr.com.
fiverr.com. And
Yeah.
you're gonna have, like, it's gonna change your life if you haven't used it yet. They have everything and anything that you might need taken care of for you. So
Awesome, guys. All right, guys. This has been fun. We will see you guys again next time. Be sure to register for the next one we do. And go find Melanie. Oh, wrong way. Maybe this way. I don't know. Go find Melanie at fourthcreekcreative.com and have fun with it. All right, guys.
thank you so
Be
much. I
good.
had so much
Melanie, thanks
fun.
so much again.
Bye.
See you guys.